Peppa Pig is a show filled with tons of content over its 20-year history. Did you know that Peppa's Christmas episodes are some of the most beloved of all?
Ho, ho, ho!
Peppa Pig's Christmas episodes are extra special, not just because of the cozy holiday vibes, but also because some of these episodes have a unique continuity between them. That means one episode picks up right where the previous one left off. And that's not something we often see in Peppa Pig, right? This is why the Christmas episodes are so unique. We also have several standalone Christmas episodes, and today we'll talk about all of them. One of these standalone episodes is Christmas Eve. This episode is really fun because it perfectly sets the tone for Christmas. It's all about the pig family getting ready for the big day. Daddy Pig goes out to get their Christmas tree, which I find super weird because he apparently gets a real tree. No wonder he struggles so much to climb the steep hill where their house is. Peppa and George help Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig decorate the tree and leave a snack for Santa Claus by the chimney. This scene is hilarious because Peppa points out something I'd never thought of before. Why does Santa Claus come down the chimney when it's so much easier to just use the front door? Have you ever stopped to think about that? The night goes on, and eventually, Daddy Pig and Mommy Pig tuck Peppa and George into bed because the next day is very special. It's Christmas Day, but this episode is pretty simple and ends there. The connected special episodes, though, are the real treat, and I'll share those at the end of the video, so stick around to find out what happens. So, grab your Christmas hats and fake beards, and let's dive into the best Christmas episodes of Peppa Pig right here on Zigzag. As I mentioned earlier, Peppa Pig has many Christmas episodes. While those two connected episodes are unique, the others released over the show's 20 years are standalone. But that doesn't make them any less special. The next episode on our list is called Santa Claus, or Father Christmas, as he's uniquely referred to in the UK. It's a festive episode where Peppa and her friends choose their roles for a Christmas play they'll perform for their parents. Pedro Pony plays Father Christmas. Wendy Wolf is an elf. Peppa is a Christmas fairy. Susie Sheep is a Christmas nurse, though that's not exactly a holiday thing. But Madame Gazelle, their very spooky vampire teacher, lets her be whatever she wants. Finally, Emily Elephant is one of the snowflakes. This episode is so good, it even has a plot twist at the end. Before the play, Peppa meets Santa Claus at the market. Thinking he's the real deal, she asks if he'll come to see her school play, and he says he'll do his best. Of course, that's just his polite way of not saying no to the little girl. Poor thing, right? Here's where things get funny. The next day at school, Peppa tells everyone Santa Claus is going to watch their play because he told her he would. But the other kids are skeptical. Rebecca Rabbit says she saw Santa at the mall. Susie says she saw him somewhere else. And several other kids chime in with their own Santa sightings. None of them got a promise that he'd come to the play. Cut to the next scene, and Peppa meets another Santa. She questions him, and he awkwardly says he remembers her and promises to show up. Then comes the big day. The play begins, and there's this suspense. Will Santa show up or not? And suddenly, there he is. All the kids are thrilled and immediately ask if they can ride in his sleigh. Even Daddy Pig hops on. But to his surprise, it turns out this Santa is the real one. The sleigh takes off at super speed, even doing a loop-de-loop. Poor Daddy Pig. He was terrified. Now, I have a challenge for you. I bet you can't hit the like button and subscribe to this channel in just 3 seconds. If you manage to do it and comment, "I did it," you'll get a shout out and a heart on your comment. This next episode is one of the funniest. One of Peppa's Christmas episodes is Mr. Potato's Christmas Show, where all the kids go to the theater with Madame Gazelle. This episode is hilarious because the play is so weird. Even the kids notice how fake and over the top it is, trying hard to be funny since it's a children's show. Pedro Pony keeps standing up to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. Then, as the lights dim for the show to start, the opening music plays, and the kids get all excited. Wait a second. It was Madame Gazelle's phone ringing, not the show. What a blunder, huh? Everyone knows you're supposed to turn off your phone in the cinema and theater. This Mr. Potato play is packed with funny moments. There's a scene where the acting is so bad, it's hard to believe. toy cauliflower keeps popping up in the background, and the kids have to shout when they see it, so Mr. Potato and Mrs. Carrot can find it. But they take so long to look that it disappears again. It's so ridiculous that even Susie asks, "Why are they so bad at just looking?" You're right, Susie. It makes no sense. Another scene that's impossible to take seriously is when Mrs. Carrot suddenly turns into a fairy. You can even see the strings holding her up as she swings in the air. Once again, Susie points out the mistake, saying she can see the strings. It's so cringy it's funny, but all is forgiven because, like any good Christmas episode, Santa Claus appears at the end. They all sing a song to set the festive mood. And not just any song, a classic Christmas carol. The next episode is one of those that start connecting things, as I mentioned earlier. In this delightful episode, we see Peppa and all her friends taking a train ride to visit Santa's grotto, where Santa is waiting for all the town's children to write down their Christmas gift wishes. There's a funny detail in this scene. When Santa asks the kids if they've been good, everyone excitedly says yes, but then he follows up by asking if they've been keeping their rooms tidy. As they answer, take a look at Peppa's face. She looks so embarrassed. Looks like she hasn't been such a good girl this year, considering how messy her room always is in other episodes. How about you? Have you been keeping your room tidy? Comment below with the hashtag number room so we can see who the tidy ones are around here. Before we dive back into the connected episodes, let's take a moment to remember another classic. The episode about Grandpa Pig's Christmas present. Yes, even adults get presents from Santa on Christmas Day. I'm sure you've seen the adults in your family exchanging gifts and opening them with as much excitement as the kids, right? In this episode, we see everyone fast asleep as Santa flies over with his reindeer, sliding down Grandpa Pig's chimney to deliver gifts for everyone. But Grandpa Pig's present? It's at this massive box. George gets a little toy boat, Peppa gets a rocket, which, honestly, I thought was a weird gift she wouldn't like. Hey, she seems into it. And Grandpa Pig? He gets, of all things, a drone. For some reason, though, Grandpa doesn't like calling it a drone and insists on calling it a quadcopter because, you know, it has 4 rotors. Even Mommy Pig looks surprised that her dad randomly got a drone. Have you ever tried helping your grandparents with a smartphone or a computer? Well, the results here are exactly what you'd expect. Grandpa Pig forgot to configure the drone's address settings. So when the battery ran low and it activated the automatic return home function, it flew straight back to the North Pole, to Santa's house. Santa then had to go through all the trouble of wrapping it back up and flying over to deliver the present to Grandpa Pig again. Thankfully, everyone had a good laugh and stayed in the Christmas spirit. The next episode is the final part of Peppa's connected Christmas episodes. Picking up exactly where the last one left off, we finally get to see if everyone gets the presents they asked for in the previous episode. George asked for a toy car. Peppa? She asked for a doll that walks, talks, closes its eyes to sleep, washes dishes, goes to the gym, works on Wall Street, is telepathic, and can time travel. Susie loved the idea and asked for the same thing because she didn't have any creative ideas of her own. And you know what the biggest twist is? After stuffing themselves with Christmas dinner, everyone gathers to open their presents. George gets his little red car. It's the adults who end up playing with the racetrack more than him because he's too busy playing with the box. Everyone else gets presents they love. Peppa gets Parrot. And to make things worse, Susie calls and brags about how she got the mind-reading, wall-climbing, energy-blasting doll Peppa had asked for, complete with a note addressed to Susie. Santa completely forgot about Peppa. Can you believe that? But the sadness doesn't last long. Santa quickly realizes his colossal mistake and suddenly pops out of Peppa's chimney with the mind-reading, Latin-speaking doll she wanted all along. And so, another happy Christmas comes to a close in Peppa's world. From all of us at Zigzag, we wish you all a Merry Christmas too.